Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Kevin Walker, and I officially passed my private pilot written today. And I thought I'd give you guys some helpful tips for studying and preparing for the written exam and what I did to prepare for it. And I'll just give you some other test tips as well for anything that you need to know for the test in general. And so, first things first, what I'm going to say is if you're looking to prepare for the written, I do not want you to dive into a whole bunch of books like these, but these books I'll cover them a little bit later. They are pretty important, but for solely for the written exam, I don't want you to spend hours on end just reading these back to back. I mean, the PHAC is very, very important. I definitely recommend you get a physical copy of this. This is will teach you everything you need to know about aeronautical information. But definitely, it's not something you should read like every day back to back if you're looking to prepare for this test. So, and in general, what I would recommend, what I did is actually I'm a college student at taking an aviation program, and my professor gave us a test prep software, which I will cover in this video. And basically, it narrows down what is in this book and any other FAA manuals and such, and it just strings it down so that whatever is on the test, you'll study off of on the software. So I'm actually going to pull that up right now. And for this, I am recommending the Glime Aviation Private Pilot Test Prep Guide. And I'm going to share that right now. So here is an overview of the Glime Aviation FAA Test Prep. Actually, I just got to log in real quick. And all right, so here is what to expect off of the test prep software. So I have FAA Test Prep Online Private Pilot. And here's what you'll get basically. This does cost like about $100 or so for the ebook and the Avlearn. Yeah, if you're not taking this under any curriculum or so, you're not going to really need Avlearn because that's for your that was for my professor to do unit tests and such. But I highly recommend you just get the ebook and the guide, like the study sessions and test sessions. So what I would do is I would start off with the ebook. This, I would say, if you know everything that is in this, you will do very well on your written exam, no question about it. So go through these study units, not all of them every day. You'll burn yourself out quite quickly. Just go through like each of them, maybe study unit 1 or 2 a day or so, and just go through them, get through the concepts, and then afterwards what you should do is go and create a study session and then go on the specific unit you're reviewing about and answer some of the questions and just keep going through the questions, all of them, get the maximum amount of questions. So for example, airport, air traffic control, airspace, get all 165 questions and see how you're doing. If there's an area you need to work on, just focus on that area. Do not waste your time on what you do know, spend more time on what you don't know. And um, so And as you near towards your exam, or as for me, what I did is I didn't really read much about the book because like I already knew most of the stuff that was already in here. So as you get closer to it, I just recommend you keep practicing the tests. Like just see every question that you possibly can, because most of these questions in here are what you could get asked in your written exam, and for sure it really helped me a lot. And it'll give you your performance report. So, for example, the one I was performing the least on was weight and balance in cross country flight planning. That's typical. Like, I don't think anyone is really a master at weight and balance and performance, simply because also the charts are pretty difficult to interpret because you have to be pretty precise about it. So that was an area that I needed to keep improving on, and I just kept on practicing the calculations and stuff like that. Whatever it is. And if you want to go through all of the questions, you can. But what I did to help just shorten it was I would skip some specific areas of study, like areas that I had like 100 on, for example. I didn't really study any of that anymore. I just went with what I needed to go with. And if you could skip a whole unit if you would like. So I was already familiar with study units 1, 2, 3, but maybe I need to do 4, 5, all the way through 11. I could do that. So, or you can just select all. You would click next, and you can actually have you can set the order for what the questions appear in. So I always recommend the standard Glime order because this will go in the order right here. It will go in the correct order that you would like to have it in. But if you want to do it random, that's on you. You can do that. So yeah, there are 907 questions in the bank. Try to see as much as you can when you're nearing towards your exam because you want to be able to see every question possible in here. And this is why I recommend the online version of the test prep. You can get a physical copy of this, and it's taking a while to load. You can get the physical Glime test prep software, but I recommend the online version because it's actually like the test environment. Like it's going to ask you a question, and so it's asking what rating equipment is required for Class B airspace. So as I would say, B is the correct answer, and it will tell you that it's correct, and it will explain you exactly. I really recommend you read what's in the blue box. It will instead of just memorizing the questions and answers, actually read what's in the box so you just get familiar with it, and it might actually help. So answer B. It will say military operation areas such as Devil's Lake. Also define. It will just tell you what exactly it is you need to know. And it'll also tell you where the source is from. So this actually came from the Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge. I'll come back to that later after I'm done showing the test prep guide and why I think it is very important that you still read through it. And yeah, so after you feel like you're good with the study sessions, I want you to go on and create a test session. These simulated test sessions are exactly what the written exam was like. This is the exact format. I took mine at a PSI testing center, which I assume like most people are. This is the exact format it was in, so definitely give this one a shot. I would say that if you consistently keep scoring like above an 80, 90%, I would say you're ready to take your written exam, but I would also just keep recommending that you keep studying and make sure you actually know your stuff and that you're confident in taking this test. Because if there's an area you need to work on, yeah, I recommend it because the written test is 60 questions. There's 907 questions in the bank, and if for example you're not familiar with how to calculate weight and balance or look at performance charts or anything like that, then you could end up having multiple questions on the exam and it could end up costing your grade on it. So it all goes back to prepare what you don't know, and whatever you do know, just keep going with. Just skip ahead of it. Next thing I want to that I want to explain about when you're doing these study sessions is okay. That's what also happens. You have to click main page in order to really get it back. For some units, such as weight and balance, charts, publications, navigation systems, cross-country flight planning, those are going to be the hardest for a very simple reason, and as you actually have to kind of dig into it and understand it quite well. You can't just like memorize like a question and then answer it. To be honest, you really do have to understand how to read charts, how to use a flight computer. I will place high emphasis on that, especially for cross-country flight planning when you're calculating your time en route and magnetic heading course. This will really save you. You can bring it on the exam, and I'll go over what you can bring on during the exam later on. But definitely get proficient with your flight computer, and I'll go over that. All right, so that's how the Glime test prep software works. And if you have any questions about it, just drop it in the comments. I'll be looking forward to hearing from it. Yeah. Again, just understand everything that's in here, and I promise you'll do very well on your written test. Like I said, I got a 95 on this test because like I understand most of the things that were in here. It will really help you. This is everything narrowed down from all your FAA textbooks and it narrows it down to where that's the stuff that's going to be on your test, so you don't have to really cram in as much information as possible. But I do want to go over the importance of these books and publications that the FAA offers and why I think you should still read off of them. All right, so earlier ago I explained about how you should not read this back to back every day for when you want to prepare for a written test. Now, while that's kind of debatable because most of the stuff that's in here will be on your written test, and if you had only one book option to prepare for this, I definitely would recommend reading the Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge. But another thing I would like to say is that this will definitely help you understand everything to do with flying in general, like with relating to weather, aerodynamics, airspace, airport operations, navigation. It's all in this book right here. And what I would suggest is read like just a chapter or two of this a day. And you don't have to read a whole bunch every day. I just recommend reading like maybe one chapter a day. It could just be on if you want to learn something, if you want to learn about systems, just read through the chapter, and the next day read about something else. Like that's what I gotta say about this. And I gotta say, if you understand everything also that's in here, it'll help make you a good pilot in general. And same goes with the airplane flying handbook. I absolutely love this because this goes through everything you know about actually flying the aircraft and the operations that come with it. And it'll go over in general some maneuvers that you'll need to do, night operations, performance maneuvers, landings. I read that chapter so many times on how to land it because I struggled so much on landings. But in general, it just goes over everything you need to know about flying. These two books, they go hand in hand. They'll teach you everything you need to know about flying. You get the physical copies of these. You'll need these. I also have an older version of it from 1997. I got from a corporate pilot, from someone from my old scout troop. He actually gave me this, and it's basically a simpler version of the current version, actually. So if you don't understand something, you could just read this first. Actually, there are probably not many of these left around, but what I would do is I just read through it and then read through the current version instead. And so about the test in general, what it was like when I got into the testing center. First things first, you can't have any electronic devices on you, regardless. Do not bring any bags on you like I did, because I had materials like my flight computer, my endorsement, my plotter, stuff like that. Um, just carry it in a pocket like I did. Just don't carry any bags, really. Don't carry any notebooks or pencils. Bring only these two items to the test. Don't bring anything else. Like your endorsement, whether it's a logbook endorsement or certificate, these two and that. Nothing else. And because they give you stuff like pencils, notebooks, and test supplements when you're actually taking the test. Another thing I would like to point out about their test supplement was during the test it would ask refer to the specific figure. Some of them were wrong. It would ask me refer to figure 34 when really it was figure like 35 or 37 or something, or I would have to flip through multiple pages to find it. So that's why it's important to get familiar with this test prep software, because the charts, everything in here in this test prep software is what's in the supplement that they give you on the test. Become familiar with that, you'll be fine. All right. And good tips for just in general about the exam. Show up quite early, like I did. I showed up 30 minutes before my test, because just so I wouldn't have to worry about rushing in there and stuff. And I could give the clerk some room for when I signed in. And yeah, that's about it actually. I I place high emphasis on these manuals, these books, and everything, and definitely the flight computer for cross country flight planning. That will save you. Um, yeah, just give the Glime software a try. It's not that much, and you can have it for about 2 years. And I'll definitely use it for my instrument rating written exam. It's very helpful, and I'll drop a link down in the description so you guys can check it out. But yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for tuning in, and good luck on your written tests.